Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Monday, August 25th, 2014. Well, just a couple of things on tap for today. There was nothing on last Friday except for Auntie Ellen speaking, and apparently she didn't affect the market at all because I think she spoke in the afternoon, and the market just continued doing what it was doing. But for today we have new home sales and the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Survey. And the rest of the week looks kind of average. Get a little busy towards the end of the week. We have GDP coming up on Thursday. But that's kind of it. GDP is sort of a big deal. Probably more so than a lot of these others that are lined up for this week. All right, let's take a look at what is going on across the ponds. All right, in Asia, we're mixed. A little bullish, a little bearish. And when I say little, I mean little. But Europe is a little bit different in that it's pretty bullish. I mean, looks pretty hot over there. Almost everything is above. Well, everything is above except for the FTSE, 0.5% in on the bullish side. So that's could be a good sign for the markets here. All right, let's pop over and see what's going on in the futures. Speaking of futures, you may have gotten this warning that they actually didn't open until 9 o'clock last night, when normally I think they open at 5:30 or 6 o'clock Eastern time. And this is probably, it is Central Time, so it actually was 10 o'clock Eastern Time. But futures don't concern us a whole heck of a lot. But anyway, we do have numbers down here. So they opened up and everything is looking kind of up for the futures here in the U.S. And gold down to $12.79. And here's a few words about oil. I think that there's a lot of oil out there, which is probably why price is down. And that means pretty much, except for little wars and stuff like that, the demand for oil is down. There's probably excess production. There is not as much manipulation, I think, in oil as there is in gold. So I think this oil number is sort of telling, in my opinion. Or some kind of a doom and gloom kind of a person. I like to sort of lean towards I'm about to fall off the cliff kind of philosophy, or look out for the cliff because it's going to hurt. Not like, oh yeah, the road ahead is paved in gold. Speaking of. Anyway, here's a little something I want to show you too. Go to the Analyze tab and blank out whatever symbol is in there. And you'll get a list of, and if you change this over to hide positions, you'll get a list of everything, every simulated trade that you put in there that you may have forgotten to delete. So if you want to clean that up, you'll see a whole list of, if you do this, if you use simulated positions, you'll see a whole list of them here, and you'll be able to just X them out and just delete them and clean up your system and not have so much garbage hanging in it. So that's a good idea to just go through and do that every once in a while. Alright, we'll jump over to the, I want to go back here to show, we'll go back here over to the Monitor tab and take a look at what we have open, which is absolutely nothing. Remember last week we didn't do a single trade because I hear the term the market is grinding higher used a lot lately, and that's pretty much what it's doing. Market and a lot of stocks are grinding higher. And they're not really giving us an opportunity for entry, but I want to take a look at something and talk to you about it for a couple minutes today. All right, let's take a look. Well, first of all, the one that I want to take a look at is I want to take a look at the futures here for the S&P 500. Okay, so here's what it looks like. This is what I mean by grinding higher. It's just, grinding higher. It's not giving us, on a daily chart, it's not giving us any chance to enter. But take a look at how pretty, actually, the intraday chart is. Now, this one's a little bit, if you're going to play the futures on its almost 24 hours a day trading schedule, I think it's 11 and a half hours a day that particular market is open. They close it for a half an hour to, crunch numbers or something. Everybody go to the bathroom. I'm not sure why. Maybe get some sleep. But it's closed for a half hour. I believe that's the way it works. I used to kind of dabble in this a little bit on a test basis. I don't think I ever risked any real money in the futures, but if you're a 24-hour trader, this is the one that you'd want to look at. So we're going to look at the intraday chart. If we're going to get nothing but green candles and no entry along here, no opportunity to get in on a little pullback, or a little flag, bull flag, bear flag, whatever you might want to call it, then I think that we should probably take a look at the intraday chart. So just using ES as an example. So let's go take a look at Apple. Let me just type it up here. Then I don't have to switch back and forth. All right. Whenever it comes up here. All right, so how are we looking on an intraday? Well, we could have gotten in here. And this was Thursday. And it would have given us a successful trade for expiration on that Friday if we were to do. And this is a 50 delta trade right here. This is a beautiful 50 delta. We have a solid red down. And then we get a hook here on Thursday morning around 10 o'clock. So maybe we should be looking at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squish this down a little bit more and open up the intraday a little bit more to give us a little slightly different focus. Alright, so that's Apple. So let's play with this a little bit this week. So I'm going to take that one off there, and we're going to set a target. Let me change here to my target tool, and we're going to set a target here. Now this is still valid. We actually touched, where are we here, 79.7, so that's almost 80. So this is still valid. It's still coming down. So we're going to set ourselves a little white target down here and see if it's going to come down there and give us an entry today. All right, let's look at Amazon. I think I'll just use my mouse. How's that? So actually, with a little bit of a violation here, oops, come on, cursor, catch up here. Oh boy. Alrighty, we're back. Okay, here's Amazon, our next candidate. I'm not going to say anything about this error and restart and all this other kind of stuff that I have to go through. I don't make you guys suffer through it. Happens to me occasionally. I don't know why. But anyway, here we actually do have a target setting up here for 50 delta, but if you look on an intraday, may have already missed it. We'll have to see exactly what happens today. So is it a candidate? I don't know. I'm not going to record these as candidates if I'm looking at the intraday, because I'm not sure that I'll be using that, but there certainly is no reason why you cannot use that. No reason at all. And you can see here, actually, that this particular one would have, you'd be in trouble. You know, if you would have gotten in on this on Thursday afternoon or Thursday around noon, would have been a little bit of a trouble. So, it may not work out, so I'm not going to get real excited about this, but I am going to keep an eye on it. So if you go back and take a look at Apple, Apple would have worked out very nicely. And it's a little cleaner looking, definitely. Amazon, by the book, had a violation right here. In addition, it also, the 20 also bent over, and it's now in a negative, in the midst of a negative move, and it's flattening out on the daily. Alright, Baidu, why didn't this show up before? Very strange. Baidu. Let's see here. We have what looks like a uptrending channel, but Friday. Oh yeah, that's right. I had this trade in here, and actually it was successful. It was a simulated trade, and it was successful. Just for fun, I guess you might say. So we'll take that off of there. So that one did work out. Getting a strike outside of this channel, but it looks like the channels may not hold. So we're not sure exactly what Baidu's doing right now. Chipotle. Let's see here. Chipotle is, I have no idea what's going on with them. They may or may not decide that they want to fill this big old gap that's in here, so I'm not sure exactly what's going to be going on. And I can't really say that one thing or the other is a good trade here. I don't know, this makes me very nervous. We have a down arrow also on PPS. So I'm not sure that this target's even valid. I am not. It's just no price movement in here. I'm taking this target off. It looks like as though we're going to be looking at the 20 pretty soon. Price is going to meet with the 20 and maybe roll over. Oh, it's just not tradable in my mind. Too risky for practically anything. All right, Costco. Oh my God. All right, if that happens again, I'm going to call it a day for this recording and start shipping out emails to Thinkorswim. Support at Thinkorswim.com. All right, here's Costco. I think we're done with Chipotle. Costco, definitely looking strong. Very strong. Actually gave us a nice entry here on Friday. So I'm going to take this here. Let's activate this and do it over here. I don't really have a target here at this time, tell you the truth. So that's a big mistake. I'm going to remove that. We lost our target. We may go back with a target on a daily. Here, yes. Daily, we're still looking at a target out here. Sorry about that. I don't mean to confuse you. I'm confused enough usually. So, yes, we're looking for a target there on the daily. Let's take a look at the Dow. Definitely busted out of this channel, so let's just take it out of here. And it looks like this. Oh yeah, it's moving along fairly well. It might be heading for a new high. We'll skip gold. Look at Google. Okay, we had a lot of junk here on Google. Looking at doing, I think, an iron condor here. I don't have it left here. I think that was an iron condor. I'm going to just get rid of all the drawings here because they're very confusing. Okay, so if we are in an uptrend, we do have a target down here. So in my mind, we might want to look at a 20 delta here, just because this is a very new trend after a little bit of a pullback, so it's kind of a new trend. So I might look at a 20 delta on this. Okay, LinkedIn. Wow, I don't get where they get off doing this. This is actually, well, it's not alertable. It didn't get down here and really give us an entry. So we're going to be looking for one here on the intraday, because it's in a very strong trend and not giving us any entry points. But there's nothing to record on that at the moment. And the X looks like this. So on, I bet you we get a hook here today. So this might be a day to get in on NDX. So we're going to look at a 20 delta on it during the day today. It's got something to look at anyway. Netflix. Not giving us an entry, so we're going to look for one over here. So if you see a nice round one on the intraday chart, because these over here on an intraday chart are going to be real wide and stretched out, because they only take up like a day here, so they'll take up a day here, so they'll fill this whole space. But the nice little round ones, those are intraday entries. I could change the color, but that's too much work. Alright, price line. It's going to crash on me. Yep. Okay, so I am going to just call it a day. I think you guys kind of know what I'm looking at. I'll bet you that we probably have some potential 20 deltas on RUT and SPX as well. So I think that, well, that's it for today. There's nothing more that I can say. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. If this is happening to you, make sure you send an email to Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade, whatever you want to call them. And, you know, maybe if we hit them, I don't know if it's happening to you or not, but it's definitely happening to me. And I already boosted up my memory, so maybe I have to go through and destroy my user profile again and start over. I don't know. That's what I'll do next, is do that. So that's it. Have a great day, and if you can trade, happy trading.